And the music just got started again, and all of a sudden I'm live. I'm not going to sing, and you're welcome for that. Welcome this afternoon. My name's Bill. I'm here in the FRNC. That's Front Range, Northern Colorado. So it is just about 2 o'clock my time. First of all, my goal is to do this live every Tuesday afternoon. And I've said that. And then as soon as I said that, and I did one a couple of weeks ago, last week, I just didn't show up. I just wasn't here. But there's a reason for that. Last week was special in a different sort of way. Last week was the anniversary of my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, passing. It was the first anniversary, and my wife took the day off because they were very close and it was very hard for her. And she just needed to get out of the house. And I just said, I'm not doing live stream today. I'm just going to take care of my wife. And so I'm sure you will forgive me for that, for not showing up, but you know why. It's not like I forgot or I didn't care or anything like that. I want to do this and I want to be committed to doing this, but last Tuesday was an exception. And every now and then there's going to be an exception to the rule. And last week was that exception. So my apologies for not being here last week, but now you know why. So I got 3 or 4 things I wanted to talk about today. And if you have questions, drop them in. I appreciate it. I would rather answer questions than come up with stuff and talk about it. And nevertheless, I don't have any questions as yet. So I do have some things I do want to share. This is news that happened 3.5, 4 weeks ago. So it's not really news. It's not new news. It's not yesterday news. It's last month's news. It is. But it's YouTube related and it's YouTube channel related. And I heard somebody else do a video talking about this very thing. And it has to do with a lawsuit. A lawsuit that a 20-year-old woman from California, she's referred to by her lawyers as Kaylee. And she sued Meta, which is Facebook, so Meta and YouTube, for causing her addiction. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll go through it here. She began using YouTube, looking at YouTube at age 6, and Instagram, owned by Meta, at age 9. She started watching YouTube videos at age 6. Now, is there a problem with that? I don't think so. Depends on what you're watching. But she also watched TV at age 6. So I mean, I have an opinion. Nevertheless, here's what happened. Both platforms have age restrictions, and she was below those age restrictions, and yet she was watching YouTube and she was watching Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels, I guess. Yeah. So here's what she claimed. She claims that Meta and YouTube made deliberate engineering decisions to maximize engagement among young users for advertising revenue. And that she knew that those decisions that they knew that those decisions carried mental health risks. We know that we're doing something that causes mental health risks, but we're going to do it anyway. And those were her grounds. As a result of now she's 20 years old now, so she's talking about age 6 on YouTube and age 9, so she's been on it for 10 to 16 years or so. She says that she developed depression and body dysmorphia from comparing herself to others and using beauty filters on the platforms. Okay, interesting. Here's the interesting thing, the verdict. The jury found Meta and YouTube liable on all counts. They're at fault for her addiction. They're at fault for being available to her when she was 6 years old or 9 years old. They were found at fault for doing these things. just being the companies that they are. They're at fault. They awarded $3 million in compensatory damages and $3 million in punitive damages, totaling $6 million. Meta bore 70% of the compensatory or of the responsibility, and YouTube was 30%. So YouTube and now why is this a big deal? Well, we understand. We knew what happened back in the 90s with tobacco. Tobacco was held liable because their product caused people to become addicted to cigarettes, to nicotine. And so now on the packaging, it says the Surgeon General recommends that you don't use this. It is addictive. And yet you can still buy it. But this is the first win. Now, I don't understand this. There's protections set in place for addiction claims. So this is the first U.S. win piercing that those protections in addictive claims. And the case would, I'm reading this obviously, the case would influence thousands of other consolidated cases. Lawyers are comparing it to big tobacco litigation of the 1990s. Now, here's something else. You're thinking, why just those two? Well, she also sued TikTok and Snap. They settled out of court. They just said, okay. And they settled out of court. And usually settling out of court means one of two things. They're guilty and they know it. And if we make a settlement, it'll cost us less money. Or they're saying, we're not guilty. We just don't want the publicity. Negative publicity. And so they paid up. So you can decide whatever it was, they decided. But now both Meta and Google are appealing this judgment. Now I have an opinion on this. Maybe you do too, but I have an opinion on this. Somebody took a phone or a tablet and handed it to a 6-year-old girl and said, here, watch YouTube videos, and we won't monitor what you watch, or how much you watch, or how long you watch. Those are the parents. Yeah. And at age 9, because she's already been into YouTube apparently for 3 years, at age 9, she started watching Instagram Reels. Or Instagram in general, and addiction ensued or followed. But she didn't do it on her own. Her parents allowed her to do it. Now, again, this is my opinion. Her parents allowed her to do it. Matter of fact, they probably did it so just as a means of saying, here, watch this so you don't bug me. Now, I don't know her parents. I don't know her family dynamic. I don't know anything about that. I don't. I have no idea. But I do know this. If I had a 6-year-old, the last thing I'm going to do is hand her a tablet or a phone and say, here, watch this. It's not going to happen. Because I care for what goes into my child's mind. My child is responsible until she turns 18. I am responsible for that child until she turns 18. When my daughter, I only have one daughter, when my daughter turned 16, we bought her a Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, she loved it, a yellow Jeep Wrangler, her dream car. She drove that all the way through college from age 16 until she got out of college and when she was 21. And yeah, just guess what? When she was 16 and I gave her that car, I'm responsible for her. But I also taught her how to drive. I taught her how to drive responsibly. She got a speeding ticket once. She was trying to get home before curfew. Yeah, so there's that. But she's also a teenager. Teenagers do things. They just do. Now, you may or may not be thinking what I'm thinking, but that's okay. My thought is very simple. This girl, who's now 20, is having depression and having, hang on, I got to read it, body dysmorphia from watching all of these videos. So who's at fault? Are her parents at fault? Is she at fault? Are the platforms at fault? Or are the people that put stuff on those platforms at fault? My thought is the last thing I'm thinking is, or the last thing that I'm doing is, I've got a channel on YouTube, and it would be amazed. I would be amazed beyond all reasonable doubt if somebody became addicted to like literally addicted to watching every video on my channel. I'd be really amazed if that happened. Be kind of crazy. Am I part of the problem? I don't think so. I see YouTube as something a lot different. A lot different from social media platforms. I don't consider YouTube a social media platform. I watch it, or I see it as a learning platform, a how-to platform, an inspirational platform, but I don't see it as an addicting thing. I don't see it. Now, YouTube, after TikTok took off. Might be a song in there. TikTok took off. All the other platforms started to come out with shorts and reels. And, we got the TikTok, which is the vertical, and they're 1 minute long. Now I think they're 3 minutes long. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, but you can do, there's Instagram reels, the short videos, and there's YouTube now has shorts that are short videos, and you can sit on there and you can scroll. We call it doom scrolling, which in and of itself, doom scrolling on any platform is an addiction. I admit to having some problems with just doom scrolling because I'm not doing anything else. So I just flip through videos, and I fully admit it can become addicting. But guess what? Nobody's forcing me to watch it. And to be honest, nobody's forcing a 6-year-old to watch it, except the parents who handed her the tablet or the phone to watch it on. So I'm really leaning toward the parents on this thing. Being a parent and a grandparent at this point, I understand, but there's also responsibility on the part of the family, on the parents. Now, again, I don't know this woman's situation growing up, whether it was a single parent family, a stable parent family with a father and mother, or whether it was, or whether the mother has been. I don't know. I have no idea. Whether she was a foster child, I don't know. Was she raised by her grandparents? Again, I do not know. Have no idea. Have no clue. But I don't blame the platforms. I do not blame the platforms. I have an addiction to sugar. Should I sue the sugar company? Yeah. I've had a sweet tooth my whole life. Who am I going to blame? I could blame my mother. Oh, she could make pies like you wouldn't believe. Good pies, and there's sugar in pies. Every pie that she made, there was sugar in it. My mother could bake like it was nobody's business. Anyway, I digress, but that's enough on that. You make a decision one way or another. If you're listening to this later on, drop something in the comments and tell me your opinion. Tell me I'm wrong. That's okay. Tell me I'm right. That's okay too. I'd love to know your opinion on this and on this particular thing that happened. Like I said, YouTube is appealing it. So is Meta. They're appealing this ruling that they owe money. And let's be honest, $6 million or 30% of $6 million for YouTube is not that big a deal. That's pocket change for them. That's pocket change. Even the 70% of $6 million from Meta is pocket change. But they took a stand. They said, we're not paying it. It's not our fault. Even if that ruling came down, it's not our fault, and we're not going to roll with it. And I don't blame them. Don't blame them at all. What's your opinion? Drop a comment. It's okay. Don't be ragging on me. I just like your opinion on the situation. You know my opinion. I'd like to know yours. whether you agree with me or disagree with me, and that's okay. So that's the one thing I wanted to just kind of chat about today. That's apparently still in flux. A few other things. If you have a YouTube channel, now I can go on YouTube, and I go on and I log in as my as who I am through Gmail or through my Google account, because YouTube is owned by Google. And with that in mind, on this particular channel, which I made and started over strictly for this, I don't surf around and watch sports videos and racing videos and movie videos. I don't watch those things on this channel. And here's the reason why. If I start watching all those other things while I'm logged in on this channel, then this channel will start recommending all of those things on this channel for me to watch. And I want to keep this channel, I hate to use the word pure, but it's as limited as possible. Everything on this channel that I liked, like I subscribe to other channels, as this channel, have to do with YouTube and YouTube growth. Now, on my original channel, I would go over to there where it says switch channels. And if you're in YouTube, you can go up to your upper right-hand side and click on your picture, if you have a profile picture, and you have an opportunity where it says switch channels. And if you only have one channel, you can create a second channel. So this is a channel I created off the original, but back on the original channel, that's where I watch the Broncos news, and I watch different sports things, and I watch movie clips when I want to watch a movie clip. I watch. There's one YouTube channel that after saying all that earlier in the previous thing, I'm addicted to. I love this channel. It's got nearly 1 million subscribers, and it has to do with 164 die-cast racing, like Hot Wheels racing. And this one channel that does this is absolutely amazing at it. But because I watch every video that this channel puts up, other channels that do die-cast racing start popping up in the feeds to see if I'll watch those as well. While I watch those too, while I watch this one, while I watch that one, if you like this channel, why don't you like that channel, type of a thing. Now, that's what YouTube does, is they'll recommend things based on what you watch. So on this channel that I'm going live on, the only thing that comes up on this channel when I'm not doing this, I'm just up on the channel myself, is about YouTube growth, because that's the only thing I subscribe to, and that's the only thing that I watch when I'm on this channel. If I want to watch other stuff, I switch to the other channel that has absolutely everything popping up there. Movie clips and 164 die-cast racing and all these other things, Broncos news and football news and Colorado Avalanche news, that type of stuff. And if you want to keep all these other things from coming onto your feed, create a new channel and keep it as dedicated to one focus area that you possibly can. I hope I'm making myself clear. It's kind of a genius idea to keep your one thing really, really clean, your one channel really, really clean, and use the other one for instance, last week I had the shed door was rotting off of our shed. I had to make a new door for the shed years ago, and I made it out of the wrong material. But it lasted 6, 7, 8 years, but it was pretty much just rotting off. And I finally said, I got to make a new door. So what did I do? I went to YouTube and said, how do I make a shed door? And I watched 6 or 7 videos on how to make a shed door. I picked one that made total sense to me that said, I can do that. That seems pretty good. Seems like a nice solid door. And my goodness, it is. It's probably heavier than half the shed, but that's another story. But guess what? And I watched that on the old channel where I watch everything. So what pops up whenever I'm on that channel? Just seeing what videos pop up. Make this shed door, how to put a window in a shed, how to put a lock on a shed, how to make a front porch for a shed, how to make a shed inside of a shed. All of those things. Because I watched several videos on it, and now YouTube says, hey, Bill's interested in shed doors. Let's show him a bunch more videos on shed doors. The YouTube has no idea that I found a video, watched it, and actually made the door. And now I'm not watching shed door videos anymore. They don't know that. They may figure it out in 5 or 6 months because I don't watch them anymore, and things will shift. But I made a shed door based on a YouTube video, which is kind of the point where I come back to saying that YouTube isn't a social media platform, except for the shorts, the short form video, which I don't make and I try to avoid, to be honest with you. YouTube is a learning platform and an inspiration platform and a how-to platform, and I don't see it necessarily as a social media platform. Now, is there social media on there? Sure. You make comments, I make comments back, we make comments about things, and that's cool. But if you want to keep what shows up on your YouTube feed as pure or focused as possible, have a channel where you watch all the other stuff, do all the other searches, but on the channel that you're making your main videos on, which is what I'm doing here, nothing else comes up on my feed for this channel if it doesn't have something to do with YouTube channels or YouTube growth or YouTube analytics or YouTube this or YouTube that. See how that works? And that's something that you can do as well. And again, when you start making YouTubes, start with a brand new channel, but don't use that channel that you're using for your main YouTube channel for creating your YouTube videos and putting them up. Don't do just random surfing on there for how to fix a shed door or how to make a shed door or how to organize your garage. So there's a really good, excuse me, throat is bothering me today, folks. Anyway, that's that. What else was I going to talk? I was on I watch a couple of lives where people come on every week and they talk about YouTube and YouTube growth, and they're live, and so you can ask questions. And so the comments are live. And that's really cool. The comments are live because people start getting on there and they start commenting about this and that and this and that. What about this and what about that? And then other people on the comments come in and they answer those questions. And yet the person that's doing the live stream is also reading through the comments and answering questions about it. That's the whole purpose of the live is let me answer your questions. And there's well over 100 people on this live stream watching. And then all of a sudden, right out of the blue, somebody pops in there and just starts saying, I'm not going to listen to some bald guy talk about this. This is a bunch of BS and yada, yada. And he's just flexing his opinion. And his opinion is completely negative. I've watched this person do his lives for months now. And it's every Tuesday and I rarely miss him. But this guy, right out of the blue, I've never seen him on the channel before, and all he was doing was negative. And not only that, he was using all caps because he had to yell. So he was using all caps. BS. I'm going to listen to some ball guy. BS. And one of the moderators that this person has that was helping to moderate his channel while he was doing the live stream just kicked him off, just banned him because he was a troll. What do you do with trolls? What do you do with negative comments that come up on YouTube channels? Like you put up a video and a week later somebody comments on it, and it's just a totally negative comment. I did have a comment a couple of weeks ago where the person said, hey, I like your video, but your thumbnail's pretty weak. I could help you with that. Well, he was trying to drum up business. But I said, hey, thanks for the opinion. And to be honest, he was right. My thumbnail on that one was rather weak. I changed it. Appreciated the comment, But he was also offering to do my thumbnails for me. I don't need that. I really don't. So But I left his comment up there. I didn't consider him a troll. But this guy today on this other channel that I was watching a live stream on, he was a troll. And we don't need that kind of stuff. And some people think, every opinion should have some value in it. Well, he was giving an opinion, but he was ripping the guy apart in front of everybody else that was on the channel watching. And I actually went to his channel, because the name comes up, the channel name comes up. So when I'm watching this other guy, my name, Bill Does This, comes up, and that's how I'm known when I make comments. So this guy's name comes up. I'm not going to say who it was. So I went to his channel. He doesn't have any videos up. None. What he had was an opinion. I mean, he's just what do they call them? Keyboard warriors that just go up and they just look for fights. And that's what this guy was. How do you feel about trolls? How do you feel about people giving you negative input? There's some that say, all input has some value to it. Even negative inputs have some value to it. Well, I'll take the value. I'll listen to the value, but I don't have to have him being so obnoxious about it. And he was. And so he got kicked off. And I applaud that channel for doing that. Absolutely. One more thing I want to drop, and then I'm going to be done for the day. And what about that? I mentioned that YouTube is not, in my opinion, a social media platform. It is a learning platform. That's what it is. It's a how-to. It's learning. Like when I want to learn how to do something, I'm a handy guy, but I'm not a very handy guy. So when I want to learn how to do something, a little easy plumbing or some easy drywall or making a shed door, I watch a bunch of videos. Watch a bunch of things to how do they do this? How do they do that? I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if I can apply that to this. Like I've got to remove some tile, the backsplash on our kitchen, because we're getting ready to do a bit of a remodel in the kitchen, and so I can pay $650 to have the backsplash tile removed, or I can do it myself and save $650. And that's a real number because we just got the quotes on it. I had to do a full breakdown. So I'm watching videos on how to remove kitchen tile. Right? That's what I'm doing. And a channel, when you look at a channel, going back on the shed door, I watched a video on a guy who was making the entire shed. So this video was just, hey, now I'm going to make the shed door. Watch how I do this. But I could watch how he made the entire shed. But I only needed the one on the shed door. What I'm getting at is this. I'm going to look at my note again just to get this right. When you go on YouTube, you watch things. You watch things for entertainment. You watch things to learn how to do stuff. You watch things to get inspired to do things, whatever it is. But you watch things. YouTube is not a theater. It's not a cinema. I want you to think of YouTube as this, a library. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm making a YouTube channel. I'm growing a YouTube channel, and I have 11 videos up so far. My goal right now is to maintain 2 per week and eventually 3 per week. I'm hoping to go to three per week fairly soon, but right now it's just 2 per week. And then do a live every week like this. But you can go back and you can watch the first one, and it's really easy to find. Really easy. You can watch the 7th one, real easy to find. Because there's only 11 videos up there, and right now this is the second live that I've been able to do on this channel. But think of YouTube as a library. Because a year from now, there'll be 120 to 150 videos up. And people will still be watching the 3rd video, or the 17th video, or the 55th video, because it can be watched again and again and again, just like in a library. A library, every book in the library is a used book. You don't get a new book every time you go to the library. You get a used book. Other people have read it. Other people have looked at it. Other people have skimmed it. Other people have researched in it. They're all used. Same with your videos. You are creating a library of your videos for others to watch. And it accumulates. It compounds over time. The more videos you have up, the more people will watch at least one of your videos or more. And maybe subscribe to your channel, which would be really, really cool. But you're not just throwing 50 videos up every week. Those would be really short, questionable videos of questionable quality and questionable content. Yeah, you're not making those type of videos. You're putting up videos that have some quality to them and have some care to them. And think of YouTube not as a cinema place to go get some popcorn. Think of it as a library, a place to go and get information and the information that you want. And you are building your library. That's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm building a library. And YouTube is a platform of hundreds of thousands or millions of people's personal libraries of themselves. It's not only a library, it's also a legacy. When I'm dead and gone, these videos will still be there. If YouTube is still there, my videos will still be there, and people can still watch them. And that's the cool thing. Now, I haven't had any comments. Nobody's watching at this point, but you may be watching later on, and that's all right as well. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about any of the topics that I've mentioned today. And this live stream will go down as yet another book in the library that I'm creating on this channel. If you don't know me, my name is Bill. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I would appreciate a subscribe or a like if you feel that I've earned it and not before, and if you're interested in what I'm doing. Other than that, take care. I'll see you next week. I don't foresee any problems next week, but you never know. Families have issues, things that need to be taken care of. Other than that, I'm scheduled to see you 1 week from today. Take care. Have a good week, and go to the library, not the cinema. Sure, let's say that works. Take care. Huh. There we go. Have a great week.